talk to you about our Ask a Pro segment. So that's the segment where you can send in any of your gardening and horticulture questions, and we'll have one of our pros answer it for you. So you may be wondering, who are our pros and how do they get to be a pro? Well, we have a certification called Certified Nursery and Landscape Professional with the New Jersey Nursery and Landscape Association. So with that, it's a combination of education, experience, and testing. So in all facets of horticulture. So you can send in any of those questions and we will match it with one of our pros and make sure that we get the answers out to you that you need. So if you see somebody that has that designation, you can be sure that they are thoroughly trained and you can trust them with all of your horticultural needs. So I hope you enjoyed the segment.
Here is an outstanding garden. What do you think of it, Lisa?
Well, so far it looks beautiful, but I heard that there's a few surprises around here.
Ah, you know, it's funny. I've heard that too.
Yeah.
So we are at the 2022 Grand Award winner in the designs for the NJNLA. And this is truly has been a very interesting, as soon as you walk around the corner, all of a sudden you see a hillside. And it's
right.
Like, oh, and look at the walk up there, and where does that walk lead? And it really is a lot of curiosity to it.
And actually, when we pulled up into the driveway, all of this is pretty much hidden. So even the entrance was a surprise. And then they showed us the staircase, and then there's great stuff up top that we're going to check out. So.
Absolutely. And then the details along the way, I think that's the fun thing. I love stone. So when I'm looking around here and seeing some of the stone and how it's used and how they created it, great stuff that you can take away and use in your own backyard.
And I know you and I were discussing some of the plants already, and you were pointing out some of your favorites, which weren't necessarily some of my favorites. And not that there's any plants that we don't like, but we all have a favorite plant or two.
Yep.
So we're going to check out some of our favorite picks.
We shall do that as well.
Okay.
So come with us and we'll take you on a little bit of a journey around this garden.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Mitchell Knapp, and I am the owner of Tapestry Landscape Architecture, Scenic Landscaping, and Tranquility Pools. We were very fortunate to have an opportunity to build this project. A lot went into it due to the site conditions and all the needs that were needed to stabilize the erosion, and also build something beautiful to make the customer happy. So there's a lot of unique things on this project that you're going to enjoy as we cruise around. And at the same time, we are a design build firm that designs and builds, and also we will maintain whatever we do build. We've been in business for 48 years, and we are located in Haskell, New Jersey. And at that time, you know, when the projects start, it's being able to have a vision, and that vision has to be seen through a very detailed process and a very strong team to execute a project of this caliber. And after we are done, we're fortunate enough to be able to maintain these gardens, so whatever we do build, we will maintain.
So now we have Mitch joining us in this beautiful garden. So Mitch, tell us about your company and the inspiration for this garden.
I'll start off with the background of our company. We started in 1975. We were actually landscape contractors at that point, maintenance contractors, and we grew into having a masonry division back in the 80s. Actually, in mid-late 80s, we started Tapestry Landscape Architecture, our landscape architectural firm. And from then, about 12 years ago, we actually built our pool division, Tranquility Pools. And from that, we were able to have an opportunity here to build a very unique project with a lot of difficult site conditions. So at first we dealt with the DEP in the state of New Jersey, because we are adjacent to a beautiful stream that's across the street, and everything was about erosion control. It took us about 6 to 8 months to finally get approval from the DEP and the EPA so we could build the pool, where we started up on the top, which I'm sure we'll walk up to after. And from there we actually started doing the hardscaping here, You can see there's a lot of walls and stairs and grading and drainage that was necessary to build the project. So we finally accomplished that. And through about 2 big waves of landscaping, we installed the landscaping here for different seasons and different blooms. I mean, we're just coming into the season now, and as we panoramically go around or take a walk, you'll see there's a lot of different perennials and a lot of different flowering shrubs and trees. Our biggest obstacle in the beginning was dealing with the deer. So as we planted it, they enjoyed it, and we finally got the property deer fenced to control the actual deer from coming into the property. And since then, we have a division of our company, it's called CGS, or Custom Gardening Services, and that division comes in and does the maintenance and the flowers and takes care of these properties.
So when you first came here, or when the client first called you, I understand that it looked very different out here. And was it just like a railroad tie retaining wall?
That's exactly what it was. There was a railroad tie wall here, and the railroad ties were failing. So at that point in time, we were just talking about walls that would hold back the erosion in the prom to protect the house. So from that point in time, it was like, well, I want to be able to mobilize myself and walk around the property. So everything evolved from the problem of erosion into this garden that's been built.
And then, so what did the client say to you? Did she say she wanted different entertaining areas, or what were her goals? Just to enjoy like a natural looking garden, or to sit outside a fire pit, or everything? She
basically, what you just mentioned, she asked for it all. She said, if I'm going to spend this kind of money already, that this is what I want. I definitely want to be able to entertain. I want to be able to eat outside. I want to barbecue. And of course, as this process is going, if I'm going to be doing this, I might as well put in a pool, and let's keep things here really natural. So as we get up to the top, you'll see it's a very natural setting on the top, and it blends right in with the environment that's here.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a look at the different areas.
Let's go. Let's take a walk.
So now we have John Jacobs joining us, and you're from the Custom Gardening Division, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So tell me a little bit about what service that division provides.
So the Custom Gardening Service is our post-construction service that we offer to clients. After we build gardens like this, it's very important that they're properly maintained, pruning and fertilizing. So our group of highly skilled gardeners will come in and prune the material multiple times throughout the season.
Okay, now that seems like an invaluable service to me because, these homeowners, they're not familiar with the plants yet and what the plants do or what they need. So you guys come in and you take care of it all.
Correct. So we'll come in and we'll be pruning different plant material. It's important that things are pruned at the proper times throughout the year so that we can make sure that the plants are aesthetically looking good but are also doing what they're supposed to be doing, whether it's flowering or growing in the proper orientation. And then it's also important that things are fertilized properly so that they develop a good root system or, flower, abundantly throughout the summer months.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to monitor the plants, to make sure that they're healthy, and obviously everything is thriving here. So
Absolutely.
You guys are doing everything 100% correctly.
Yes.
Which is great. So tell me a little bit about this specific property and what you guys do when you come in here to maintain it.
So this property is one of our more extensive gardens that we maintain. So we're coming in here about 3 times a month to prune and fertilize all of the plant material. every section of the garden is a little different. So as we kind of move through, there's different things that the client likes that we need to make sure is pruned to what she's looking for.
Okay, so I think it's a great way for the client to enjoy the garden without them having to dedicate too much of their time.
Absolutely.
So they get the benefit of all this beauty, and you guys take care of the maintenance. I mean, that's a great thing.
It doesn't get much better than that. That's it. Yes.
So how about if we check out some of the items, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what you do to maintain them.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks. So John, we were talking a little while ago that you're with the maintenance division, and different plants require a different amount of maintenance. So we happen to be sitting in front of an espalier Japanese maple, and I'm going to assume that this one probably requires quite a bit of pruning. So tell us about it.
This one definitely requires a little bit more pruning. This is actually two types of a Japanese maple that are grown on a flat surface here. So as we're pruning it, if it wasn't pruned properly, it could become a very large tree. But we're really looking to try to keep a flat face on this and try to keep it as tight to the wall so it's not encroaching on this bench that we're sitting on.
So how often do you prune it, and is there any certain type of, time of year that's better? Or
something like this is growing rather quickly, so this is something that we'll try to prune almost every visit to try to keep the tree nice and full and really keep it into a nice slender growth habit.
Okay. Now, how about some of the other plants that you have here? Maybe some of the plants that flower at different times of year. How do you handle those?
So certain things right now we really can't be pruning because we'd be cutting off a lot of the flower buds on it, like a Rose of Sharon, which is a lot on the slope behind us. So something like that won't be pruned until later part of the summer to try to keep those in check so that they don't become too large.
And then how about some of the evergreens? When do you think is the best time to prune those?
Really, some of the evergreens will wait until they push out a lot of their new growth. And at that point, we'll try to keep things more in check and really keep them so that they're not getting too large for their space.
Okay, so would you think maybe fall, late fall is the best time
Yeah,
for those?
that's usually a good time to be pruning something like that.
So really, you guys have year-round work here
Yes,
to maintain the garden.
Absolutely. Spring, summer, fall, and even sometimes in the winter, we'll come in to cut some of the more woody plant material.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a lot of great information. Thank you for sharing that with us. So John, you've given us so much helpful information. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you learned all about this.
So I've been spending a lot of time at Scenic over the course of the last 10 years. I worked in the Scenic nursery and through a lot of our crews, so I have a lot of in-field knowledge. In 2015, I graduated from Rutgers University with a degree in landscape architecture, and I've been really doing this ever since. It's been a great passion of mine.
Okay, well, all your education and your work experience has certainly paid off, and you do a great job maintaining this garden.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I was noticing all the interesting trees as we were walking up here, and I noticed there's a lot of katsura trees. There's a huge weeping beech. At the top of the slope here, I'm noticing a bunch of very slender sweet gums. And so I guess, and being a lover of plants, just what was your thought process behind laying out all this awesome plant material?
Yeah, I mean, the number one goal that we wanted to achieve was just to stabilize the slope.
Okay.
And we removed a few plantings, old trees originally from the slope, so we wanted to reestablish it.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that we didn't have any future runoff. But also we wanted to have something to illuminate, to give some depth to the property too.
Okay.
So trees act as a great spot to shine a light up.
Yep. And one of the things that I'm noticing too as we're walking along is that here's a brand new patio right here behind us. So are you growing? Is the garden getting bigger?
Yes, it seems to be the pattern of the project. It just keeps continuing, which is fun. But yeah, so this is a patio that was just recently added a couple weeks ago, and we really tried to blend the material in with the existing. But you can see it's still unfinished. We're going to be planting, and then you get a beautiful view of the woodland behind it, which is just awesome. So,
did you name this rock?
we didn't, but do you have any ideas?
I don't know. It just looks like it has to have a name to it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's just a really cool feature up here.
I feel like when the sun is beaming right on it, it's the perfect spot to lay down and get a tan.
Exactly. You come out of the pool and you go on the rock. What could be better, right?
Exactly.
Well, Devin, we made it.
We made it up here.
It's like we're on top of the world.
Yeah, we feel like we're in a different space, right?
Completely.
Yeah.
I mean, the views up here are just incredible.
Well, that was the whole point in not only just putting this, because when we originally started, it wasn't going to be a pool up here. It was just going to be like a little patio, and then it developed over time. But to be up here and have this view of the stream below is just amazing. Yeah.
When I was downstairs and I was told that there was more up here, I was kind of looking at all those stairs and saying, look, there can't be much up there because it's such a steep slope.
It is, yes.
But it's amazing, like how much space you were able to create up here.
Yeah, there's about 30 feet of grade change from the bottom all the way up to the top. So it was a challenge to create this like level area, but with the backside of the pool being elevated a little bit, we were able to kind of achieve this space for the fire pit, for the spa, and it is a spa and a pool combined. So we made a little deep end in this corner to allow for you to really get in. Yeah.
Right, because initially I had heard that it was a spa. So
yes.
With a spa, I kind of pictured like a smaller circular thing. So I was surprised how big it is.
Yeah.
So I see what you mean. You really went with the grade, with kind of recessing it into the hillside here.
Yeah.
So how much leveling did you have to do in the patio area?
So just this whole area right here, we were able to kind of take some soil and fill out and then push it back a little bit with the retaining wall on the back side. And by doing that, we were able to create this waterfall that's next to us here. Kind of mimics the sound of the stream below. And it nestles the whole thing in. I mean, it feels like it's meant to be here.
Right, you're looking at the stream, you're hearing the sound of the water.
Exactly.
I mean, it's such a perfect oasis up here.
Exactly, and right below us, there's benches that wrap around the whole side with jets behind them. So you can sit in the pool, look out at the view.
You have some form that you created, but everything yet still looks natural.
Yeah, the form was very purposeful. We wanted to make sure we were highlighting the views and to the stream below. And really capturing that angle. That was really important. And we didn't want it to feel too sunken down so that it was missed, or we didn't want it to feel too elevated so that it was exposed. So it was very tricky. And certainly the planting helped kind of nestle everything in. So as you could see from below, as we come up, you don't even know it's here.
Yeah, exactly. And then where was all the stone sourced from?
So it's all sourced from local stone yards in this area, and it's all the same as below, all native material, bluestone, carney stone, which is all native to the Northeast.
Okay.
And it just fits in good with the property. We didn't want to bring in materials that weren't naturally from this area.
Right. That's what makes it blend so well.
It does, exactly, yes.
Well, you did an amazing job, and thank you so much for showing this to us.
Of course, I think maybe we should go for a swim.
I think so. It's pretty hot right now, so let's jump in.
Sounds great.
You go first. So now we're out in the courtyard area, which is just gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, right? Look at the material on the Belgian block, and then the cobblestone. It gives it like that bluestone feel that we see throughout the patio spaces.
Yeah, so it still has that kind of old world look.
Exactly.
Even leading up to the entrance.
It doesn't feel brand new, right? It feels like it's been here.
No, it definitely feels like it's been here.
Yeah.
And then the building behind us.
The building behind us is really cool. It's a brand new garage, but it looks like it's been here. It looks like they match the style of the house beautifully. And there was lots of coordination with the garage going in. We were able to work directly with the architect and lay it out to make sure it tied in nicely with the walls and the long courtyard area. Yeah.
I mean, even the garage is beautiful.
I know, the architecture's beautiful. It has like a cottage cuteness to it,
It
right?
does. It looks like one of those little houses
Yeah.
that are so popular now. So I'm
Exactly.
sure there's probably a few viewers that would want to move in here.
Yeah, I could take this, yes.
Yeah. So, and then the stonework. It's
Yeah.
so beautiful, and the gates, and then we have the columns.
Exactly, yeah. So nice entry columns, the gate to give some privacy for when the cars are parked inside here, separates it from the street nicely. And then we see similar stonework that we've seen throughout the rest of the project, with the boulder wall on the bottom, and then you go up to the block walls on top, and then just layered with beautiful landscape.
And then I noticed some lilacs down the bottom that are really gorgeous.
Yeah, unfortunately we missed the window with them, but
We
3
did.
weeks ago they were beautiful. Some Miss Kim lilacs, nice fragrance to them. Yeah, nice way to pull up into your driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a welcoming entryway.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
then you said that the homeowner normally parks in the garage.
They do.
So
yeah.
that leaves enough space for how many cars did you plan
I would
in
say
here?
like another 2 or 3 that could fit in here comfortably. And then we also wanted this space to feel like overflow space. So if there was like a party or big event, we wanted this to feel like a space where they could set tables up or have people and entertaining in here.
Well, the other thing that I like that you did, and I'm sure that this was also well thought out, is that you kind of recessed the gate
Exactly.
up into the property a little bit. So there is enough room to kind of pull into the driveway before actually accessing the property, so somebody's not waiting in the street to pull in.
Yeah, it's always important. You want to make sure you can get off the street just if there's traffic or something, and then the gate will open from there. Yeah. Also, if you have guests and they're not coming through the gate, they can comfortably park on the other side as well.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Well, this really has been spectacular.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
It is. And then I know that there's the deer fencing here. Is there deer fencing around this portion? Or?
So the bottom part we kept without the deer fencing, just the top sections. And the deer tend to stay away from down here just because it's closer to the road. There's
Right.
plenty of other space, I think, for them to migrate to. So.
Okay. And I heard that there's some more of this project in the works.
There is. So this is, of course, an old farmhouse needs an old barn. So there's another section with a beautiful barn that was restored, and we're working on something fun over there. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. So next time we come back, I hope you'll give us a tour of that.
Yeah, I would love to venture over there and show you what we're working on.
All right. Well, great. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. This is so much fun.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Wow, we're through. Can you believe that?
And it was great, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. So, and I love the shot of you in the pool.
You know, that was fun. I might have to, take a dip in the pool again.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a nice bonus for today.
That's right. But and I was saying we get to see some really, really cool gardens as part of this. So,
We do.
and I love being a part of Growing Green. So, hats off to NJNLA for allowing us to do this.
This is a definite job perk, right?
It is.
Can it come out and look at this
So,
stuff? Now, can you even choose one space that was your favorite today, though?
No, not one space nor one plant.
I can't either. I
Yep.
love it all.
Me too.
But you didn't dress for the pool. I guess you didn't have any prior notice.
No one told me. I don't know.
We got to get better with
Yeah, the communications.
the
yes,
communication.
Yes, I get.
The marshmallows were missing, the drinks,
Yep.
and now your bathing suit.
Yep. Dang. So, but we spared the viewers that scene. So,
Well, I say take your shoes off and stick your toes in.
stick the toes in the water. That's right. So,
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the show as much as we did.
we did have fun. And until the next month, and another garden.
Yep. We'll see you then.
Right. You know, Lisa, Is it going to get dark soon?
I'm hoping that it's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, aren't the marshmallows coming out?
Somebody was supposed to bring them.
Yeah.
And chocolate. Marshmallows,
yeah.
chocolate, graham crackers.
How many hours?
We've been here a long time. My stomach is really growling.
Is the sun going down?
I know. I'm getting a little red now.
Yeah.
I know. I guess we have to sit here and wait a little more.
Oh, God.
All right. I guess I'll just get to it in the meantime.
Good job.
All right. That's it.
Can't get any cornier than that.
I'm like, there's nothing else to do.
I don't have a job.
My chair doesn't recline. At a recent gathering of green industry professionals, we asked these pros to give you some tips and tricks. So we have John Belaney here from Belaney Contracting Company. So John, have you found that a lot of homeowners say, well, I can do this myself or I can do that myself, and then when they attempt things, they realize it's maybe not so easy. So do you come across that, and what are some of the things that maybe you wind up fixing for homeowners?
You know, it's a great question, and I hear it all the time. And there's nothing wrong with it. You know, that's their perception. But the results are different.
Yeah.
So, for example, when we approach a home landscaping, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. For example, we look at drainage situations. We look at the type of soil it is, the sun exposure, foot traffic, vehicle traffic. Before we do any planting, sometimes we'll amend the soil. We make sure we pick out the proper plants, proper spacing of the plants. You know, a plant that grows pretty aggressively, we don't want to put them, too tight so that the following year you have a mess on your hands. Mm-hmm. So there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we think is very important.
Yeah, and actually very valuable, because if people are planting the wrong plant in the wrong spot and then they have to start all over again, I mean, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money. So they're better off hiring a professional and doing it right from the start.
Without question. Well, now, plants today are extremely expensive. And putting a broadleaf evergreen within southern exposure, it's just one of the common problems. But I agree 100%. I take on projects myself that I shouldn't, and every time when I'm finished, I say, next time I'm going to hire a professional.
Yeah, I think we all do that. We learn the hard way, right?
Without question. So you're going to save money in the long run. Hire a CNLP,
That's right.
landscape professional.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.